You take a look at that list there, it really is quite incredible. And what kind of is very striking is that no one seems to hide, and Xavi made that point.
Yeah.
And that you've got these youngsters who've seen others do it, and I suppose that can be an inspiration. If you've seen Lamine Yamal score, and you've been playing with him in Barca B for so long, you're going to think, well, if he can do it, I can do it.
I think that's a huge benefit when you see players who you played alongside coming through the academy, do it at the level that they are, that you feel as comfortable or as confident as they are. I had a manager, Alan Podge, who always spoke about the naivety of youth. And I think that's kind of what Xavi is hinting at. That these young players are just coming in and playing the game as though they're on a school playground, with totally naive of the fact that this is, okay, it's not the Camp Nou, but this is Barcelona. And this is in the, 82nd minute, and it's still 0. And you have an opportunity to score past Spain's #1 to win the game. All of that is totally lost on a 17-year-old. And every time something like this happens, it reminds me, and I know that Mario and Frank will feel the same, that for all our discussions around Ballon d'Ors and winning Champions Leagues and World Cups and everything else that comes with what we do on a daily basis, there is just this kind of unbridled passion about when we were young and just playing the game because we loved it. For no other reason, never expecting that you'd go on and win the kind of silverware that those two have won. That you just play the game because you love it. And then Marc Guiu shows up as young players do every now and then, and just reminds us of that. And it's so good to see on the level of this is Barcelona and you've won 3 points, but just on a level of this is it brings out the kid in all of us.
And to accentuate that, Alex, we obviously saw the reaction from his parents in the stand as well.
Yeah, can you imagine? Can you imagine watching your son go out there and perform like that and deliver like that? It just must be the most special moment for the family. And looking at Marc Guiu being interviewed after the match as well. I mean, he's a kid. Of course he is. This is a kid who, it's not just that he hasn't played for the Barca first team before. He's barely played for the B team. He's been playing for the under-team side mostly. And seeing him interviewed on Spanish TV afterwards, he just did look like a delighted big kid. It was funny. He was stood there alongside David Villa, actually on Spanish TV, one of the greatest Spanish strikers ever. And he was saying that David Villa was his idol, and he couldn't believe that he was stood there next to him. You could tell it was just the biggest day of his life. And he's an interesting player. He's got different qualities that can help Barca, I think. He's sort of a big, strong centre forward, not so much of a kind of the technical kind of player that we're so used to Barcelona producing. But his emergence comes at a really important time because they've got various players out. Of course, Lewandowski wasn't available for this one. Lewandowski was watching on and applauding from the stands as Guiu put this one away with the kind of finish that Lewandowski would have been proud of himself. And yeah, like I say, he comes along at just the right time.
It's interesting, as I mentioned before, Xavi after the game talking about him and comparing these youngsters to his generation, Frank, who he described as scared at this age. Can you relate to that? Can you relate to the fact that you've got these kids coming through who are playing so carefree?
I wouldn't, because I knew some players, very young coming into the game at my age or during my generation, having no fear and no naivety in their games and going for that and just for the sake of it, for the pleasure of being on the field and scoring goals. I remember Patrick Vieira starting in Cannes at 16 or 17 years old and didn't care. It was like normal going there and happy to be there, not wondering how beautiful it was. And you know what? When I saw that just now, I almost went in tears because you know what? The emotion that I saw with the parents is absolutely crazy. As Shaka said, it's exactly what we went through. The first game that we played, or the first goal that we scored, or maybe the first save that Shaka made, it's just for your parents you do that, because you know that they have sacrificed many things for you, that you take risks to become a football player, and there you on the field, and you get the people crazy, and your parents get in tears, and you know what they feel and the pride that they have on you. And well, that's insane. This story is insane. I mean, I'm so proud of the guy, and I so love football because of that.